Okay, today we are repairing my mother-in-law's Clarisonic Pro. It's kind of stopped charging very long, so the batteries are about shot in it. So we're gonna try to repair it. What's the worst that could happen? It's already broke. So first thing I did was heat it up with the hairdryer just to make the plastic a little more pliable. Then I'm just taking a razor blade knife and just cutting it open. And then I'm also using a little screwdriver to pry it. It's going to kind of chew the edge up a little bit. Probably we'll seal it with some epoxy when we glue it back, or some hot glue, something, whatever will hold up best for water. So just about got it. I'm also wearing cut gloves to keep from cutting my fingers open, because I tend to do that sometimes. Okay, finally got it apart. There's the inside. They kind of had some glue in here, or some caulk of some sort, so it took a little longer than usual. It probably took all in all about 10-15 minutes, I guess, to get it apart. So we will try messing with these batteries, see what we can find out. Now we're going to use some sort of glue or caulk or adhesive of some sort to hold these batteries in. So we're going to take a knife and peel all this off and try to replace the batteries. All I'm using is either same knife I use to cut it open, or a little small, like a jeweler's screwdriver, or just a small flathead screwdriver. So it's kind of interesting, once we have it apart, how this thing works. This U-shaped part is basically a magnet, and because this part of the head part that vibrates, it's not connected at all. So when you turn it on, it like activates a magnetic field and vibrates that head part around. The battery's almost dead on this thing, so. Okay, so we got our new batteries in. Had to order these from eBay. Looked on Amazon, didn't find any I liked, so we ordered these from eBay. Came from China, took about an extra week or so, but they should be the perfect size we need. Okay, so one thing we want to make sure is that we're going to be soldering these together. So I went on and electrical taped them together so that they'll hold tight, it'll be easier to solder them. And these did not have a tab on the end, they had little tabs. So we're going to solder them, one tab to the other one, so that should get it. So we want to make these the same as the others, which they're kind of running in a series, and we want to tie the positive to the negative side just like the other ones. This is backwards, but we want to tie these together. So we're going to solder these together and then solder the top part to the posts on the Clarisonic. Okay, so we're going to kind of line these batteries up against these old posts that were from the other batteries. Then we're going to tape them on just to kind of keep them in place. Now we take our magnifying glass just to make sure that they got on the poster good, and they look pretty good. So we're going to take this tape off, and we're going to go ahead and put the cover on and just tape it together for now and make sure everything charges correctly. And then we'll let it charge overnight, make sure everything works, and then we'll seal it back up with some caulk or some adhesive. So far so good. We're starting to get some lights on the back. So we're just going to let it sit overnight and let it charge and then see how it works tomorrow. So Yas, queen. We put this on the charger for 24 hours. It needed a little longer to charge than normal because these are new batteries, so they didn't have any charge at all in them. And now it seems to be working fine. So now we're going to use some Quick Seal Plus adhesive sealant to seal everything together and to make it waterproof again. And so we're just going to take it apart and get started. And we're going to put caulk in a couple places. You can see on the old one there was some caulk at the top here. And then on the old battery there was some caulk on the top of it. So we're going to put just a little dab on the top. And then what we're going to do is just take that and just run a bead around this outside edge right here. Okay, so we just squish everything together and some will ooze out. That's fine, we're going to wipe it off. We got a little spot right here where it didn't ooze out as much, so I'm just going to run just a little bead along that. We're going to let that sit for just a minute and kind of skim over a little bit, and then we're going to take a paper towel and wipe it off. All right. We're just going to take now a paper towel and just kind of wipe around the edge just to get that excess off. Okay, the last thing we're going to do is just take some blue painter's tape and go around this end because it doesn't stand quite as well as the top part does, just to keep it down good. So. Then we're going to let that dry about 24 hours. All right, so the caulk is all dried, and we went on and did a second coat of caulk on it just to be sure. There's a couple little pinholes, so just to be sure we cleaned everything up, and it's all charged up and seems to be working just fine. So now we're going to send it down to my mother-in-law, and hopefully it lasts another 7, 8 years, however old this thing is. So thank you for watching.
Visit Carolyn'sBloomingCreations.com